Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Psychic Charm, and today I'm going to be talking about LeBron James and where he potentially might play next season. So we'll go ahead and get started. A couple days ago, Max Kellerman and Rich Paul went on their podcast and brought out this elaborate whiteboard and had all the potential teams that LeBron James might play next season. It was definitely over the top, and I think that was on purpose too, which I can appreciate because there's some humor in that, and Rich Paul being LeBron's agent and, him kind of acting a bit clueless or speculative on the matter when he is probably the closest to LeBron outside of his family when it comes to his decision on this. There's some teams listed, and some of them are interesting in the things that go along with them, and some of them I think just don't make sense and is filler, or I just don't really understand why they're there. So we'll go ahead and dissect all that stuff and get started. First one is really weird. It's the Dallas Mavericks. What is listed with the Mavericks is oil and golf and Africa, which I don't really understand. Like, I couldn't even really read the handwriting at the end. It's weird. It doesn't make much sense. It's Dallas plus Masai Ujiri, the GM there. I just don't really see the connection. I mean, Kyrie is playing there. Cooper Flagg is, which has the potential to be the next, LeBron archetype, if you will, a kind of player in a similar mold to LeBron with athleticism, the height, etc. It's just weird because they're a retooling team, rebuilding team, and LeBron is going to want to compete for championships in his last year. He's not going to want to go to somewhere that he can't win. So I'm just rolling Dallas off the board. And the same thing goes for the Boston Celtics because I don't see that. I don't see that at all. If there is a team, if there is a fan base that hates LeBron more than anybody in the NBA, it has to be the Celtics. Barring Warriors fans, has to be the Celtics by far. Just the amount of clashes they've had throughout the years, how many times these teams have played each other. I'm not willing to believe that this ain't happening. LeBron ain't going to Boston. If he was ever traded to Boston somehow, he would just retire. And the Tatum plus Brad Stevens kind of thing it's not really that appealing. I don't really see it. I think that there's better teams, and I think that Bron would never play for Boston. That's like when Jordan retired in 98 and him coming back, instead of him going to the Wizards, he went to the Pistons. It doesn't make any sense. Moving on from that, another one that makes sense but is kind of on the outer perimeter again is the San Antonio Spurs. I think it makes complete basketball sense, and they would be maybe the championship favorite next year if they did this. And that might be the case for a couple teams LeBron goes to. We'll talk about it, but for them, it just feels a little bit too bandwagony for LeBron. LeBron cares about his narrative. That's why he went back to Cleveland in 2014. He's not gonna want to go somewhere, I think, that could be ruled as, oh, you're a bandwagon, you're ring chasing at the very end of your career. Obviously he wants to win, but it's different when you're going to a team that will make you the prohibitive favorite. I don't think he does that. I mean, the only appealing thing is the fact that you might win, for one, which is tempting, but also two, Wembanyama plays there, and Wembanyama is another guy that might be the GOAT one day, and LeBron is also the GOAT or second greatest player in basketball ever. Him going there and I guess passing the torch would be cool, but I just don't see it with them having as much success as they have so far and them actually making the finals. I don't see it from that perspective. Same thing with the Knicks. They were on there, but I think Rich Paul did say if they didn't win, LeBron would already be a Knick. Now, I don't know if he's just saying that, but there was a lot of buzz with that, with LeBron potentially going to the Knicks. It's not happening now since they've won the championship. It would have been cool if they didn't win or make it as far and LeBron goes there and he brings their title, but he's not going there now, and if he did, it would be the same thing if he went to the Spurs. It would just be, you're really front running. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't make much sense at this point. And another one that I thought was interesting that was on the kind of outside of the whiteboard was the Golden State Warriors. They seemed like they were the favorites a week or two ago. Now they're kind of on the outside there, which is weird. There are other teams that LeBron has never been rumored to go to or have a desire to really play for, and they're above the Warriors, which I think is weird, but a lot of this involves getting Anthony Davis. The Warriors would have to get AD apparently to get LeBron to want to play there, and the Wizards don't want to trade AD, and they don't want Jimmy Butler, who's hurt, and I don't think that they're going to make it happen. It would be a cool team. It would be a really old team though, and it would have a lot of injuries, and it would be cool, but the age of this team and the injuries, you'd have Kristaps and AD, and one of those guys are going to be out. LeBron's going to be 42, Steph's going to be 37 or 38, Draymond is maybe 35, 36. This team is going to be really old Al Horford as well. Like, no, I think LeBron, I think that there's better locations for him. And I think that the Warriors wouldn't really put him over the top. And it's just weird narrative wise. Like I mentioned with Boston, like LeBron has played the Warriors a lot. And yeah, like Steph Curry's his main rival, and maybe they team up in the twilight of their careers. I like when they compete against each other too. Like I think that those games are always must watch when it's LeBron versus Curry, even if it's a regular season game or Christmas game. Those are always really good, and it would be entertaining to see them play, but I think that they're better suited rivals personally, and I don't know if it's really that likely now with them kind of being on the outside looking in. Next we have on the inside of the whiteboard, but feels weird still that he would go there. Like he doesn't have any connections to these teams, are closer, are the Nuggets, Timberwolves, and 76ers. And the Nuggets, that feels really weird. The passing between LeBron and Jokic would be crazy, and I'm sure there would be just some insane plays that come out of this season if they teamed up. But it's just a really weird location for LeBron to go. I don't think Denver, even if they got LeBron, would be a serious contender. The way they went out in the playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I get it, like teams have your number sometimes, but I think there are some serious flaws with the Nuggets. And who knows, maybe Jokic is getting in shape in the offseason or something. I am not going to buy it till I see it. The same thing with, Ben Simmons getting a jump shot in the summer. Like, I am not going to buy it until I actually see it in game. Even if Peyton Watson was hurt, I don't think, or Aaron Gordon, I don't think that changes the series. And I don't think, even if they add LeBron, I don't think that they're going to be better than like the Thunder or the Spurs or even the Wolves, maybe. I don't think that one makes a lot of sense, but it's interesting that they're in there. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, would actually be a better fit. And it would be cool if he went there and made them a contender and they won a championship and brought them their first championship in franchise history. That would be really cool. But the only thing is that he has no connection there. That's the only difficult thing with all these, is that he has no connection. And that doesn't mean that he isn't going to play there, but it would be weird. But if they did get LeBron, I do think that team would be really good. I mean, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, LeBron, and Rudy Gobert in your starting five. And you got a bench of Ayo Dosunmu, I guess Joan Baranche. The fit is there. Like, you don't have Julius Randle anymore. You could definitely use LeBron. I just don't really see the tie there. Like, it would be cool if we brought him a championship, though. That would be cool. So that's one I'm not opposed to, honestly. Like, the Minnesota Timberwolves, like, I know he's never played there or been connected to. I think it would be cool. And the next one is the Philadelphia 76ers, and LeBron back in 2018 was rumored to go there. Like, his final three destinations were the 76ers, Knicks, and Lakers. That team would be stacked with star talent, like 1 through 5. You're gonna have a starting five of Tyrese Maxey, BJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. Like, assuming you're healthy, that's an insane starting five. And the bench might not be the best, but you still have Anthony Simons you signed. You have the fit would be there. And that might be the favorite in the East at that point. That starting five would be really good. Like, I have a hard time believing that team would not be the favorites in the Eastern Conference. That one seems weird. I just don't really see the connection there, I guess. I don't know. I know he wanted to play there, and there is that, and it is interesting that they're in the inner part of the whiteboard. I struggle to see the connection there besides him wanting to play there in the past. And the final two I have are the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and both of these were on the list connected to LeBron. With Miami, the Heat definitely could use another player. I mean, depth is something that, I can attest to that I'm worrying about next season. I think some people are overrating it. I think it is something that is a concern. If you bring LeBron in there, you could maybe force Wiggins to the 2 and have Davion Mitchell. Like, LeBron would be playing next to, this is probably the best defense that LeBron could play for. I mean, Bam, Giannis, Wiggins, and Davion Mitchell. There's not going to be a lot of pressure on LeBron defensively in that. And, you have some more ball handling. The three-point shooting might be a little bit weird because LeBron wasn't an amazing three-point shooter this year. But who knows? Maybe that could work. But maybe this is the narrative, the decision part 2, and he goes to Miami, and it's that. I would definitely like it. And I think that could make the Heat the favorite in the Eastern Conference. And that would be a really great defense. He could fix a lot of playmaking and ball handling concerns. And it's if he wants to play for the Heat again. and I know Pat Riley said the key is always under the doormat. There was some beef there between LeBron and the Heat, and maybe that is patched up now. I think Giannis is definitely interested from what I've seen, like playing with LeBron. I think there was some clip of him with some streamer, and they said he went back to Cleveland, and then like Giannis about had a heart attack. So I think that there is definitely interest there, but it's hard to beat a good coming back home for the second time in your career. Like, you're coming back home to Cleveland. Like, that would be, I don't know how you top that. Like, that would be the best narrative out of them all easily. And I think everybody knows that. That team would still be really good defensively. You have Jarrett Allen and you have Evan Mobley, and LeBron could play the three. And you have Harden and Mitchell that can handle the ball. But there seemed to be some weird stuff with LeBron there. What Rich Paul was talking about, like, you know, I don't know how true it is. Like, he's also Darius Garland's agent, apparently. But he was like, you know, LeBron loves Darius Garland, and they got rid of Darius Garland. And I just don't know if I buy that aspect of it. I think that if there is a team that he's going to go to, I think he's going to go back home to the Cavs. I just don't know how you beat that. I don't know if that would be the favorite in the East. I don't know if that would be, because, I mean, they struggle in the playoffs, like the Cavs every year. Even though that they made it to the conference finals, like they always something always goes wrong with them. And I don't know if LeBron is going to fix it at this point at his age, but I think that's where he's going to go. And that's why I saved it for last, and it's the best narrative. But that's all my thoughts on where LeBron James might play next season. And I appreciate the whiteboard presentation. I think that I thought it was pretty funny because, I mean, Rich Paul is LeBron's agent. Like, he's gonna, I don't know why we're playing these games, but it's funny for him just to act all clueless and speculative. Like, I wonder where he's gonna go next season. I think LeBron could go here. Like, you know. Like, let's not kid ourselves, but I think that adds to the bit of it, and I thought it was funny. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. If y'all enjoyed this, like, subscribe, comment, do all that usual YouTube stuff, and I appreciate you all, and I will see y'all in the next video. This has been Psychic Charm. Peace out.